All right, it's time to talk personal finance, and of course, we're going to be looking at the 5 laws of gold. What does that mean? You'll be getting to find out all the details right here with Doctor of Finance, Charles Fakroha. Good morning to you. Happy New Week.
Yes, I love that. Thank you. Good morning, Bolanle.
Good morning.
Samson, good morning.
So talk to us. 5 laws of gold. What does that mean?
Wow, that's interesting. 5 laws of gold. But before we go into that, he wasn't here on Friday, and of course, you were also not here. We were looking at 7 cures for a lean pulse. And we're able to demonstrate how you can cure the lean pulse. But that wisdom was given to us by Akkad. It's a fictional character in the book The Richest Man in Babylon. And according to the author, he said that book was written 6,000 years ago. But the amazing thing is, the wisdom as at that time still suffices today. So that takes us to the point that the laws of money, just like the laws of gravity, they are unchanging. The king was so surprised when they came back from all their wars. That is the king of Babylon. That how is it that just few men, are affluent in his kingdom? And he started asking. And his advisors told him, say, will you blame men if they got to understand, the principles of handling money? And no money keeps flowing to them, while the majority of people do not even know how to handle money. And money flees away from them. Will you blame those people? He said, no, but we have worked so hard. We have conquered so many territories. I want my people to be prosperous. And I said, okay, so is it possible? He said, yes, maybe we'll ask the experts. And that was how they got to invite Akkad, and he explained that 7 cures for a lean pulse. But his friends who grew up with him, they would say, he's not even arrogant. Despite that he's flowing with a lot of gold, so much affluent, yet he was still down to earth with them. So some of them take the message home and they practice it, and they answer that yes, if you follow those 7 cures, your pulse is going to be fattening. Now, one particular one of them, Kabbalah, that's his name. He now went, a surgeon, traveled so many countries, and of course, along the line, he lost too much money. He learned his lesson, after serving his master. And when he came back, he now discovered that it is better for him, to give. He wanted to give his servants and some of his children gold. He said, no. Instead of me giving you gold, let me give you the laws of gold. And that was how we're able to come up with these 5 laws of gold.
Oh,
yes.
What an interesting background.
Yes.
Okay.
And when you look at these 5, we're going to list them. When we look at these 5 laws of gold, you discover that only one of them is telling you how to save. The others is telling you how to protect your money, how to budget. These days there are so many schemes. So you can see, as at that 6,000 years ago, they already know there are so many schemes, 419s, fraudsters will come. And they have told you, if you follow these 5 laws of gold, you will not fall victim to those scammers. And what we now discover that these 5 laws of gold are key to any personal financial management. So our viewers need to understand those 5 laws of gold. And I think that's why we're here. So I'm going to ask
you already whet our appetite.
Apparently.
We're really looking forward to hearing what the 5 laws of gold.
Yes, we will take them
They
one
sound
by
like
one.
treasures.
Yeah, they are treasures. We'll take them one by one. Yes, the first one is gold. Pardon me, I'm going to be speaking like the way it was done in the ancient time, that biblical form, So the first one, the first law of gold. Gold comments gladly.
And in KJV version.
Yes. Gold comments gladly and in increasing quantity to any man who will put by not less than 1/10 of his earnings to create an estate for his future and that of his family. Not less than 1/10.
Okay.
So you can see all what I've been saying. Minimum of 10%. When you save that, minimum of 10%, gold comment gladly and increasing quantity. there is a spiritual force behind it, whether you agree with me or not.
So gold here represents wealth, right?
Yes, wealth, money, savings. Yes. So if you form that habit, cultivate that habit of saving not less than 1/10, you save it every month. Watch what will happen to you. You will see that it becomes easier and easier for you to continue to save. Money will just be flowing to you because why? You have started handling gold, that is money, very well. Like I used to say, for me, money is not a commodity, it's a currency. That's why I tell you, Nigerian currency, American currency. It is electricity, it is flowing. So if you tell me money is the root of evil, I say it's a lie. It is lack of money that is the root of evil. Money is neutral. Will you blame fire if you misuse fire and it burn down your property? That same fire, you could use it to do something beneficial. So money is neutral. It is how you make use of it. So we have taken the first laws of gold. I hope the time will permit us for us to finish these 5 laws of gold, so that by tomorrow, God willing, we might look at financial abuse and finish it on Friday. Then
Oh, I do. That's interesting. Okay, just before you take the second one, let's go on a short break now.
Yes.
When we return, we'll definitely continue the discussion. Please to stay with us. Still the personal finance segment with Charles Frakoha. We're still looking at the 5 laws of gold, and it's taking us through the first one. We're just about to talk about the second one. So if you're just joining us, you've not missed much. The second law of gold, what's it?
yes, the first one we have said, not less than 1/10 of your salary. The second one, gold laboreth diligently and contentedly for the wise owner who finds for it profitable employment, multiplying even as the flocks of the field. So you can see again, gold will work for you diligently. Money is a very good servant if you treat it as a servant. But it's a tyrannical master if you worship it and make it your master. So you can see the second law is telling us that after you have saved, the next thing is to tell that your slave, which is the money now, your servant, to begin to work for you. And if you deploy it well, it will work for you diligently. Just as, the flocks in the field, they just multiply. That is how gold, money, will multiply. That is the second law of gold.
Okay, I think there was also a place of multiple, more like an insinuation of multiple streams of income. I think
of course, yes,
read that
yes,
multiple.
Yeah, because we're getting there.
Okay.
We're getting there. So let's quickly look at the third law.
Okay.
Now, for the third law of gold clingeth, permit me the usage of biblical terms, gold clingeth to the protection of the cautious owner who invests it under the advice of men wise in its handling.
Okay.
You don't just take your money and give anybody to invest for you. If you want to invest with a stockbroker, you want to buy shares, confirm that that stockbroker is wise in handling all that processes of investing in shares. If you want to invest in anybody's business, confirm that that person is wise in handling his own business. Not when somebody comes, say, bring 100,000, 2 days, or that same day I give you 200,000. You will not ask, what is your business model? What are you doing? What sort of investment? And of course, those people are very clever, very smart. Once you give them 100,000, I'm telling you the next day you get your 200,000. And what would they do? They will tell you to reinvest. So that your 200,000, you reinvest before you know what. It is always the early clients, let me use that word, that benefits. Yes. The later ones, because it is just simply a Ponzi scheme. And you know the unfortunate thing, the man who started the first Ponzi scheme in 1929, Charles Ponzi, that's his name, but it's not my own Charles. It is me and the current king in London now. That's the two people that has Charles.
Okay.
You know.
So are you Charles Farquhar the third?
You could say the second. So Charles Ponzi started that scheme, and over time, of course, the US SEC was able to arrest him and all that. But we saw that trend continues. The latest one we saw was Bernard Madoff. You know, 2008, 2007. And his own was for over 10 years. He was scamming his investors. They never knew. You know, so of course they felt he was an expert, but he was not an expert. So that's the third law of gold. The fourth law: gold slippeth away from the man who invested in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar, or which are approved by those skilled in it. For any business you are going into, for any investment you are going into, try to see that you understand the business.
Okay.
Even though you're not there operating it, understand what the people are doing. If you're not familiar with what they're doing, then of course they will tell you so many stories. So that's why we are saying the fourth law is saying gold will go away from you. Slippeth away from you if you invest in business you're not even familiar with.
So it's not just about getting labor or workforce. You have to also have a good understanding
Of the business. We're not saying be there 100%.
Because sometimes the workers can decide to down tools and say
Yes.
they are no more working with
Of course,
you.
that's
If you
true.
don't have any basic knowledge of what to do, then the business will be grounded.
And you know, these workers are also very smart. Once they know that you don't understand that business, they'll begin to do certain things for you. You know,
We've seen entrepreneurs, you know, tell stories of how they had to go through
Exactly.
such phases because they don't understand the business.
take a driver. If the driver knows that your guy doesn't know how to drive, at the middle of 10 million, the driver will just stop. I'm not working again. You don't have a choice. And he will not negotiate with you at that kind of condition. And obviously, maybe you will agree. So, for any investment you are going to do, have a fair understanding of that investment. The last law of gold: gold flees the man who will force it to impossible earnings,
Okay.
or who followeth the alluring advice of tricksters and schemers, or who trusts it to his own inexperience and romantic desires in investment.
You want to expatiate?
Okay, so you can see again, I'll just take it. That is, gold flees the man. You want to go to an investment, you put your business partners into pressure, put them on pressure. Say, okay, I want 30%. You are forcing money to give it. Maybe in that business, the highest you can get maybe is 20 or 15%. But because those set of persons, they want your money, they will collect it. What the Lord is now saying, that your goal will flee away from you because you are forcing it to get to returns that is not possible in that kind of business.
Okay.
How can you enter a business? They say they are doing cryptocurrency. And when you ask the administrator, what is cryptocurrency, they don't even understand. Yes, I've had calls to send information like that to authorities. And they say, oh, we are doing crypto. Crypto is 200%. How can you give somebody 100%? They say they are making 200. So they keep 100% for themselves and they give the investor 100%. I said, okay, as an expert trader, I trade in shares and other assets. I know that the prices of securities go up and come down. What of it at a particular point in time? It goes down. What happened? They say, no, it will never go down. That tells you that these are not experts. So you, the investor, you should also remove greed and fear from any investment you are. It's out of greed that we see so many people fall victim to this investment scheme. So gold will flee from the man who will force it to impossible earnings. So
where do you draw the line between the earnings that are feasible and the ones that are impossible?
okay, Once you do your general industry survey, others have done it before. We have seen returns. And of course, when you talk to the experts, they would, like, if you come to me now, say you want to invest in shares, now that Nigerian inflation is over 20.52% or thereabout. Okay. And if you invest in a company that is paying dividend of 2 naira, and the share price of that company is 10 naira, your yield is 20%. That's 2 over 10. That's how we calculate it. That's your yield. It's 20%. Yield. That is the interests.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's 20%. Now, inflation rate is 20 plus. You can say that that is a fair returns you have gotten. But if you invest in a company that the price is 100 naira and they are paying you 5 naira dividend, what is your yield? 5%. Inflation is what? 20%. So you have not made any positive return. It is still in the negative. However, the advice we always give for those who are investing in shares is, over time, it has been shown that investment in shares will give you the return that you require, will also beat inflation over a long period of time as compared to other investments. So you should know the rates that you want, that will be comfortable with you, and is also feasible. Because those investment experts, usually the ones who say they are asset managers, they are just looking for funds, and they can promise you whatever promise just to get that your funds. Well, once your money come, then it becomes a different ballgame. But however, with thanks to the regulators, they try to regulate and see that they don't defraud members of the public. And that's why the financial system is highly regulated. Because that's what they call information asymmetry. For those of you who are in communication, there is imbalance of information. The experts have all the information, while the ordinary man does not even know anything. And they just use all their buzzword jargons to convince the ordinary man, and they just to get your money. And once your money comes, you know, you are struggling there, you see them changing their suits. So when we follow these 5 laws of gold, you will see that we'll be on the path to profitable and healthy investment. Then you will become rich with peace of mind.
Very important.
Very important.
So do you have any quote to wrap this up? As usual, you always have a quote to wrap it up.
Okay, we'll just take one short quote. Money is governed today by the same laws which controlled it when prosperous men trod the streets of Babylon 6,000 years ago. Thank you.
The laws haven't changed.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for your time on the show. Charles Fakroha, business analyst and stockbroker.
Thank you for having me.
All right, wish you a good day. Let's take a break now. When we come back, we will be delving into the world of sports. Please stay with us.